Welcome to today's Explainer. We spend so much of our lives online these days that the internet often feels, well, completely intangible. It's just this invisible cloud of data floating around everywhere and nowhere at once, right? We stream movies, we search for recipes, we connect with friends using just a few quick taps on a piece of glass, and we rarely stop to consider the actual physical reality behind it all. But here's the thing. Every single search query, every image that loads, every buffering video, they all require electricity. The digital world actually has a massive physical footprint. It's working overtime, powering complex networks, our personal devices, and these enormous data centers running 24/7 all around the globe. And it's a staggering reality. Get this, the collective energy consumption of the internet literally rivals that of entire industrialized nations. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. When you think about it on that massive scale, the way we design and build our digital spaces isn't just some tech geek choice anymore. It's a critical environmental one. We absolutely have to start looking at building sustainable websites not as a cool niche concept, but as a core responsibility. We need a blueprint for efficiency. And as it turns out, the absolute best blueprint we could ever ask for is sitting right outside our window. Okay, let's dive into this. The big question becomes, how can we design a web that mimics the ultimate system of efficiency? The answer actually lies in biophilic design and biomimicry. By just stepping back and observing the natural world, we can uncover brilliant principles to solve our very modern digital carbon problem. It's about creating digital experiences that are not only way more sustainable, but honestly more human and effective too. When we're looking for solutions, we have to realize that nature is the ultimate system of efficiency. It absolutely does not waste energy or resources for that matter. Everything has a purpose. A sustainable website is basically a masterclass in this exact type of efficiency. By using biophilic design concepts to guide us, we can build sites that are intentionally fast, totally lightweight, and environmentally responsible. We pull this off by focusing on exceptional performance, super efficient code, and clean energy. Think about it. A slow, bloated website loaded with massive images is exactly like an old, poorly tuned car just guzzling fuel. When we build for performance, we're literally building for the planet. And this brilliantly illustrates user experience. We so often build these bloated, insanely complicated web navigation menus with drop-downs hiding inside of other drop-downs. It's exhausting. But compare that to a natural river carving the absolute most direct path to the sea. Natural systems are inherently optimized. Our website navigation should totally mirror this natural clarity. When a user's journey is clear, purposeful, and free of friction, they find exactly what they need right away. This natural clarity reduces the number of pages they have to load, which means shorter visit durations, way less data transferred, and ultimately significantly less energy consumed. We really need to resist that urge to add digital clutter. We can even draw inspiration from nature for our visual design choices. Moving away from those traditional, energy-intensive bright white palettes, we can embrace dark mode, drawing on beautiful biophilic inspiration like the deep, rich hues of a forest floor or a twilight sky. But listen, this isn't just about making things look moody and aesthetic. For users with devices that have OLED screens, which, by the way, includes most modern smartphones, displaying the color black uses virtually zero electricity. The pixels literally just turn off. No way, right? So using darker color palettes tangibly saves device power. A design that is beautiful and actually saves battery perfectly embodies that core principle of creating a harmonious relationship between human design and the natural world. So how do we actually put all of this into practice? Well, you can't improve what you can't measure, right? Phase 1 of our sustainable toolkit is auditing. We need to measure the invisible footprint of a site using digital carbon calculators. There are a few stellar tools out there for this. The website carbon calculator is incredibly user-friendly. You just pop in a URL and it estimates the CO2 produced per visit, even translating that into how many trees are needed to absorb it, which really puts it into perspective. Taking a slightly broader view, EcoGrader gives your site a holistic score out of 100, based on both performance and green hosting. And for all the developers tuning in, EcoPing is a real game changer because it breaks down emissions by domain, showing you exactly which third-party scripts are adding unnecessary carbon weight to your page. Alongside those carbon calculators, we have performance analysis suites. Now, you might already use these for SEO, but guess what? They're incredibly powerful sustainability tools too. Google Lighthouse and PageSpeed Insights measure core web vitals, basically tracking how quickly your content loads and how visually stable the page is. Then you have GT Metrics, which is fantastic. It gives you these granular waterfall charts, visually breaking down every single file your page loads in real time. By spotting exactly which images or fonts are slowing you down, you can optimize for speed. And remember our golden rule. improving your site's speed directly translates to transferring less data and burning less energy. Once you've established your baseline, we're moving right into phase 2, sustainable infrastructure. Because look, even the most beautifully efficient website is still going to have a carbon footprint if its server is plugged into a coal-fired power plant. You need green hosting. An absolutely crucial metric to look out for here is power usage efficiency, or PUE. This measures data center efficiency. A perfect PUE score of 1.0 means that 100% of the facility's energy is being used to power the actual computers, with literally zero wasted on overhead stuff like massive cooling systems. Basically, the closer a host gets to 1.0, the greener they are. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how different green web hosts manage their renewable energy strategies. Take Green Geeks, for instance. They use a 300% renewable energy certificate, or REC match. That means for every single unit of energy they pull from the grid, they buy 3 times that amount in renewable energy investments to offset their footprint. Pretty cool, right? Others, like Host Papa and Crystal Hosting, take a different route and are committed to being 100% powered by renewable energy directly. And here's a pro tip for you. You can easily verify these sustainability claims by checking a site's hosting status through the Green Web Foundation's database. It's a fantastic way to ensure everyone's being held accountable. Another completely crucial piece of the sustainable infrastructure puzzle is a content delivery network, or a CDN, like Cloudflare or Fastly. These drastically reduce the physical distance that your data has to travel. Think about it. Instead of a single server sitting in Dallas trying to beam files all the way to a user visiting your site in Tokyo, a CDN stores copies of your website in data centers all over the world. So that user in Japan, they just grab the data from a local Tokyo server. Less physical distance equals less energy consumed for data transmission. It's just a remarkably easy way to slash your global energy footprint. So, the crucial point is that optimizing the actual materials you use on your website is where you're going to make the biggest daily impact. Welcome to Phase 3, Asset Optimization. Unoptimized images are, for sure, the heaviest burden on the modern web. Let's say a standard JPG or PNG is our baseline, our 100% file size. Switching to next-generation formats makes an unbelievable difference. Swapping to WebP drops that size down to 75%, and moving to AVIF, that can cut it in half, down to 50% of the original size, without losing any visual quality whatsoever. It's a total win-win. And to get those file sizes down, we have an exciting tool belt of media optimization solutions. Swoosh is this great browser-based app from Google that lets you see real-time compression effects before you even hit save. TinyPNG is absolutely perfect for simple, automated batch compression if you have a lot of files, and ImageOptim is a highly reliable choice if you prefer a desktop application. But whatever you do, please don't forget the technique of lazy loading. This simply means your website only loads media as the user actually scrolls down the page. I mean, why waste the energy downloading a massive hero photo at the very bottom of an article if the visitor clicks away before they ever scroll down to see it? Oh, and fonts. Fonts are another incredibly snaky source of digital bloat. Let's walk through the hierarchy of font sustainability real quick. Step 1, the absolute greenest choice, hands down, is using system fonts. These are the fonts already installed on the user's device, like Arial or Times New Roman. Because they're already there, they require exactly 0 download weight. Step 2, okay, if you absolutely must use custom typography for branding, consolidate everything into a single variable font file instead of loading separate heavy files for your bolds, your italics, and your regular weights. Step 3, self-host your font files using tools like Google Web Fonts Helper. This stops the browser from wasting precious energy making extra network connections to third-party servers. Let's move to and see how this builds into the very foundation of your site, because this philosophy extends right down to the code itself. Traditional content management systems like WordPress are heavy. They run database-driven server processing every single time a visitor lands on a page. For a lot of websites, this is absolute overkill. Contrast that with static site generators like Hugo or Jekyll. These tools do all the heavy lifting ahead of time, serving incredibly lightweight, pre-built HTML files. Serving a static file requires almost 0 server processing power, which perfectly reflects that natural ideal of doing way more with less. Even the code itself can be streamlined. Modern build tools like Vite and Webpack basically automate this entire optimization process for you. They perform minification, which strips out all the human-readable spaces and comments to shrink file sizes down to the bare minimum. They also perform tree shaking, and honestly, what a perfectly natural metaphor for what we're talking about today, right? Tree shaking automatically removes dead, unused code from your final files before they ship to the user. By automating code optimization, we literally strip away the dead branches and digital excess. Once again, it's perfectly mirroring nature's rule of never, ever wasting resources. Building a sustainable web is an ongoing process. It's about conscious choices and continuous improvement. We have the roadmap now, right? From auditing our footprints, to choosing green hosts, to utilizing those biophilic design principles that prioritize natural clarity and elegant dark modes, we have the power to craft digital experiences that are fast, accessible, and deeply respectful of the planet we all share. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder as you go back to your own projects. What unnecessary weight will you shed from your digital ecosystem today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.